What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over a lot of the new changes and tweaks that they made within the new update of Predator Hunting Grounds. There's going to be some gameplay here. I'm going to let you know what I think about the new game mode, and I'm going to let you know what I think about the changes that they made to the Predator. So starting off, the new game mode, I really do enjoy it. I read it in the patch notes. I read it on stream with everyone, and they all got to see that I was not very happy. I did not think that 4v4 was going to be a good game mode. I thought that, hey, that's kind of more like COD. I don't think that should really be in a Predator game. And then I played a couple games, and I actually really enjoy it. I think that it's possibly a really good direction that Predator Hunting Grounds is going. It brings a more competitive atmosphere to it. Are there issues within the game mode? Yes. Are there issues that came with this update? Yes. But we'll go ahead and get into bugs in a little bit. Stats you should know for the game, however. Every time you get a kill, that's 5 points. Every time you capture the point, whether it's, the initial capture or a capture after, the other team has already had it, you get 20 points. There's no increase in capturing it from a team, unfortunately. And every time you kill the Predator, it is also 20 points. Once you have captured a point, you get 1 point a second for the rest of the game, until obviously it's captured. And the first team to get to 100 points gets their pred. The team that gets it afterwards gets their pred. So you don't want to let your team constantly trade off capture points. It might not seem like a huge issue, but 20 points, you switch off 5 times. That's it right there. And if they're getting kills at the same time as, the capture switch off is happening, they're getting closer to their pred. So it's not really worth giving up the point. You kind of want to keep that point as best as you can. So when you get the Predator, protect that point. That's the thing, is if you can keep that point as long as you can, and then you eventually die before they even capture it, Predator should not be letting them capture the point. Because if they capture the point while you are pred, you are hindering your team by letting them get their pred while you're hurt, and then they can kind of guard the point afterwards if they can get you dead. They can kill you. Alright, so now that we've gone over the new game mode, we're going to go ahead and switch over to bugs and issues. Obviously, there's a huge frame rate issue for PS4. I'm not sure how it is on PC. But for PS4, if there are grenades being launched, as there currently have been, that's kind of the meta right now. Whether you're using the actual grenade launcher or you're using the impact grenade launcher from the Hammerhead or the Mercenary, it's kind of a pain in the ass dealing with all the grenades and the ones that are being thrown and the flashbangs. All those kind of culminate into a huge drop in frame rate. Obviously, this can be improved with the next update. It's not really that big of an issue. It hasn't hindered me in my gameplay or game style that much. I'm usually still dropping 20 kills a game. It's not that big of a deal. But there are some people who find a lot of issue in loss of frame rate, so obviously that's probably a top priority of fixing. Another bug that came with this update is a lot of branches seem to be indestructible, and that kind of defeats the purpose of you being able to shoot a Predator in a tree. You can't really do that unless you get a clear shot on him. I honestly don't mind that. As a fire team member, I think that poses an interesting challenge of trying to get a good angle on him. And you can also still throw grenades up there, so you can still deter him. It's not that big of an issue. But a lot of people are not, all on the same skill level, so being able to shoot the branches out and possibly hitting that pred, I can see that being a huge complaint for a large majority of the community. But I personally think that it's more fair for the Predator that you can't get shot from just anywhere in the tree. You have to find a good angle. There are 3 other bugs I would also like to go over real quick. There is the semi-invisible bug, there is the invisible glitch, and there is the matchmaking glitch. Now, unfortunately, when you pair up with about 3 or 4 people, sometimes when you go into a clash lobby and you just, search for a quick one and you get loaded in, Unfortunately, the game decides to separate you and your team, which is really odd in my opinion. I don't think that was intended, and I don't think that it should stay that way. I think it should definitely be remedied as quick as it possibly can, because, I mean, although I'm not against playing against my friends in Clash, I actually think it's kind of fun to go against them and see who randomly gets split up. I think majority of the fan base would not like to be split up from their friends. I think that they are loading into a queue with these people for a reason and want to play with them rather than against them. As for the semi-invisible bug, you will see later in the video, a predator kind of lands in front of me on the overgrowth map, and he is semi-invisible. I'm able to see his head, I'm able to see parts of his armor and arms, but then most of his torso is invisible. This was a glitch that was first discovered a while back. They patched it. Since then, it has re-emerged. I've seen it a couple different times in a couple different Clash matches. I don't typically see it in Hunt, luckily, but either way, it is annoying and should probably be fixed. As for the invisible glitch, I see this happen and people are starting to abuse it, and it's pretty frustrating when you get into a lobby and someone is racking up kills while being invisible. As Fire Team, if you go ahead and you switch your class right before you go ahead and load into a match, you can be invisible, and it's pretty frustrating going against that because you don't know where they are. You're being shot from 3 different directions already, and then an invisible guy goes up behind you and knifes you, and it's annoying and it's disheartening to see, because I don't think that glitching to win is a fun way to win. I don't think that that's I don't see how people can get joy out of that, so I'm not going to go ahead and show how to do it because I don't think that that should be spread, but it's something that should be addressed and remedied fast. With this update also came some buffs and nerfs to weapons. Unfortunately, I have not yet tested the 2XL damage output as of yet, but I have gone over the Alpha Sickle and the War Club. On a 3-hit combo, the Alpha Sickle now does 37 damage, 77 damage, and then 127 damage. Again, these are with each respective combo, so if you only hit one shot, it's 37. If you hit both, it's 77, so that means that the second hit does 40 damage. And then if you hit all 3 hits, that's 127, which means that the third hit does about 50. And then we went ahead and we tested the War Club out. The War Club also got a buff. It does 25 damage now with a single combo, 62 damage with a 2-hit combo, and 150 for a 3-hit combo. So as of there, you can down everyone up to, so you can do Scout, Recon, and Assault. But then Dutch 87 has 155 health, so you cannot 3-hit combo a Dutch. You cannot 3-hit combo a Old Dutch, and you cannot 3-hit combo a Support. So you can 3-hit combo half of the Fire Team members, which is pretty good. I think that it can still be better. I think that the single hit on the War Club needs to be buffed, but I digress. The Smart Disc got a pretty insane buff as well, not necessarily on damage, but the fly speed is pretty great now. I think it's hard to turn a little bit, but I think it is awesome, the speed boost that they gave it. I'm okay with the reduced return speed. People can track you a little bit better. That's fine. Oh well. But I also think that the boost of duration is phenomenal. I always felt like you were always just too far away from the prey when you're trying to effectively use the Smart Disc. Now, that being said, I still believe that the Smart Disc hits and makes contact with things when it doesn't really make contact with them, and that needs to be fixed. I don't like when I'm using my Smart Disc and I try to make like a tight cut or a sharp turn, and I clip something that when I go to pick up my Smart Disc is clearly further out from the thing it claims to have hit. That really does bug me. If that could be fixed, that'd be great. Other than that, I'm totally fine. The Plasma Caster also got a increased AoE radius. I have not yet tested that because I have no idea what it used to be. We also went ahead and tested all of the Predator healths, and we know exactly what they are. I made a class that was perfect for testing the exact amount of health that each Predator has. And it goes as followed. Alpha exact health has 1,150. Hunter's exact health is 1,250. Samurai exact health, 1,350. City Hunter health, 1,250. Obviously, because it's the exact same stat bars as the Hunter. Berserker's exact health is 1,500. Scout's exact health is 1,000. They also increased the Elder's health so that he is the exact same as the City Hunter and the Hunter, meaning he has 1,250 health as well. I really like this buff because I felt like he did not have enough health. I felt like he should have been at least as tanky as the Hunter, and they fixed it, so I'm all for it. As to the other changes, like the nerf to the City Hunter, his perks got lowered, so he only has 10 now instead of 12. I'm totally fine with that. I think that he deserved a little bit of a nerf, and that was probably all he really needed. And all of the other, buffs that they added to the other Predators, like Samurai, Scouts, Alpha. Alpha they kind of nerfed a little bit, but they also buffed in other places, so it's whatever. Elders buffs, Berserkers buffs. I think that all of these are kind of untestable, at least for me, because I can't really revert to older forms to test and see what the difference is. But I think they were all really good buffs that we'd like to see. I think that the regeneration rate for Samurai, for stamina, is super important. I think that the Scout's energy and Pred core speed was a great choice. I think that increasing the melee damage on the Alpha Predator was an interesting choice, along with the speed. I don't know how I feel about him having reduced health, but I do like the idea that he is a more primitive version of the sturdier Yaochua. So it would make more sense that he has less health than the current Hunter variant. And then as Elder, I really love the fact they just went on a pretty decent buff. They reduced his stamina and they reduced his melee damage, but everything else was a pretty decent increase as far as I can tell. Berserker, again, I felt like Berserker and Samurai were the two biggest slackers. And honestly, I've been playing Berserker a lot in the Clash mode, and I think that he is pretty viable there. Obviously, because you only get one life, you might as well have as much health as possible. And I think that he is a possibly viable character in Hunt now, as well as the Samurai. So I will be giving them another chance now that they have fixed them, possibly. Now, the new map that they implemented, I love Excavation Site. I love the new missions that they added with the, destroying the Predator body or finding the Predator tech, all that kind of stuff. I think it's amazing. I think it's a beautiful map. I think all of the beach and coastal sides, along with the deep, dark cave aspect, is really creepy. And I also noticed a Easter egg. Obviously, a lot of people have already pointed out this Easter egg, so I'm not going to act like it is brand new or anything. I noticed it the first day while we were on stream. I just haven't made a video, obviously. But I predicted, and I'll go ahead and I'll make an image pop up right here with a kind of a drawing outline. But I predict, because of this excavation site here, we see 3 Pred skulls, and we see 12 Fire Team skulls. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that is confirmation that we are getting 3v12 in the next game mode. I don't know. I think that's a fun way of looking at it, and that's what I'm sticking with. So let me know what you guys think of the new update, what changes that you agree or disagree with, and let me know if you're excited to try out any classes that you were unwilling to try in the past. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. If you didn't, go ahead and dislike and tell me why. If you want to see me and Tay play a lot more together, go ahead and watch us live on my Twitch or on his Twitch. And consider subscribing so you don't miss a video. Thank you.